Hey guys, how are we doing? So, my computer has pretty much kicked the bucket at this stage. So, it's going to be a while until I can get some proper videos up. Because obviously I can't do any editing. But, well, any much editing, and I'm having to use my phone to do this as it is right now. But I've been reading, so I've been spending my morning reading stuff on Facebook and in different groups and stuff like that, and I'm looking at what people are asking and thinking, do you know what? Please, for the love of God, before you start doing anything, research it. If you're going to try a recipe, read the whole thing. Read all of the instructions. If you're watching a video, watch 3 or 4 of them so you get all of the instructions. All of them. Not just the little bits that you think you need. All of it, beginning to end. Seriously. Because some of the stuff I'm reading is obvious stuff, right? And I'm like, if you've got halfway through it, then you should know why it's doing what it's doing. One of the things that I saw is this. Okay, so this is basically what I'm going to be doing. Is I'm going to do a couple of minutes on stating the obvious. Probably. I don't know. Okay. All right. So if you're doing fermentation, you're making things like sauerkraut and stuff like that. It's going to produce bubbles. This is not canning. This is fermentation. Fermentation is how we get beer. It's how we get champagne. It's how we get any form of booze. It ferments. It's how we get the bubbles in kombucha. It ferments. Anything that you are fermenting, whether it be fruit or vegetable or whatever, is going to create gas bubbles. This is why you can buy a special pot that has a water seal moat with a top on it so that the gas can escape without losing a seal. People are doing these in jam jars, wondering why they're exploding. And I'm sitting there going, really? I know everyone's got to learn. Everyone has to learn. And not everybody has to learn the hard way. But this is important things, guys. You know, if you are preserving food, you need to do more research. And if you haven't read all of the stuff on it, then don't be doing it. You know, you need to look at the pitfalls and what you have to be looking for and stuff like that. And I can absolutely damn guarantee you that anyone who has written a fermentation videos anywhere to do with sauerkraut or anything else will tell you. It will create bubbles. It creates its own gas. This is what fermentation is. It's where that amazing kind of fizzy flavour sometimes comes from. Yeah? It's the gases from rotting vegetables. That's fermentation. It's rotting plant matter, shall we say. Okay, so that is pretty much what the gas is. That means that it is going to appear and reappear, and the more you shake the jar, the more it's going to get, you're going to build the pressure up in that jar. I would suggest very carefully, if you are insistent on using jars to do your fermentation in, get an airlock lid. Seriously, get an airlock lid. If you can't get a fermentation jar, get yourself an airlock lid, or loosen the lid off 2 or 3 times a day. Okay, we're going to loosen that lid off because you need to burp it like a baby. Okay, give it a little shake and all that air will come out, all that gas will come out, and you need to do that, like I said, 2 or 3 times a day, depending on how much air you've got in there or how much gases you've got in there. That's what needs to be done. Now, I love you guys, you know I do, but I'm not one for suffering fools either. I am happy to answer any questions that anybody has to do with anything. I really am. But when I see people who are trying to do something and they haven't read all of the advice on it, that annoys me, because there is no reason for it. That means you've read the bit with the ingredients but not the method, or the notes after the method. You know, I know some blogs are a bit of a pain in the bum. There's about 10 years of reading before you get to the recipe, and you miss all that bit. Well, guess what? In that bit, many people who write about fermentation are actually telling you the pitfalls and the things to look out for. So you might want to go back and read all that stuff. Pain in the ass, I know. But not every recipe is straightforward. Some of them we can use as base for what we want to do later on. But if you are just starting out, it is really important that you read all the information, not just cherry pick the bits you want. I love you guys heaps. Be careful out there. We don't want any exploding jars. Those things are expensive right now and hard to get in some places. So let's not explode them for no reason. Okay, I love you guys heaps. Take it really easy. Blessings.